Welcome to the shadowy world of dark psychology and manipulation, where the hidden dynamics of influence and power reveal themselves in ways that might surprise you. In today's video, we'll explore the top 10 dark psychology and manipulation techniques that can give you unparalleled power and influence in your everyday interactions. From the subtle art of anchoring to the sophisticated use of authority, these strategies have the potential to reshape the way you navigate social and professional settings. But remember, with great power comes great responsibility, so use these techniques with care and respect for those around you. Before we dive into these strategies, subscribe to the channel if you are new so you do not miss out on upcoming videos. Now let's dive into these dark secrets and unlock a deeper understanding of the human mind. Technique 1. Anchoring. It's a psychological tool that allows you to associate specific triggers with particular emotions. This method can control how others perceive and respond to situations. For instance, when selling a car, anchoring can help the buyer associate the price with positive feelings. By doing so, the buyer becomes more receptive to your offer and more willing to pay for it. However, this happiness might be short-lived when the car has a mysterious oil leak and tends to drive itself to abandoned gas stations at 3 a.m. Similarly, when trying to convince a friend to go to a concert with you, you can use anchoring to associate the concert with a positive emotion like excitement and a great time. This makes the friend feel good about the concert and more willing to go with you. Now I know what you're thinking. This sounds too good to be true, right? Isn't it? But trust me, anchoring is a real and powerful technique that you can use in any situation, but it is important to be subtle and not overdo it, or you might come off as manipulative or lead to distrust. And trust me, you don't want to be known as the office manipulator. That's a reputation that's hard to shake off. Technique 2. Commitment and consistency. According to psychological concepts of consistency and commitment, people are likely to keep their word when they make it a public or written pledge. You can persuade someone to make a bigger commitment later on by persuading them to make a smaller one, like selecting the location or date. This tactic fosters dependability and trust. For example, if you're planning a trip, start by asking a friend to help you choose the destination, increasing the likelihood they'll commit to the entire journey. Use commitment and consistency to nurture relationships, not exploit them. Technique 3. Social proof. According to the psychological theory of social proof, people are more likely to imitate the behavior of others, particularly when they are unsure about their own course of action. It can be applied to change people's behavior and increase their likelihood of following a model. For example, suppose you want to persuade a group to try a new restaurant. In that case, you can use social proof by highlighting how others have embraced a product or service, creating a sense of acceptance and popularity that encourages others to join in. However, it's crucial to stay genuine and avoid manipulating perceptions for unethical advantages. For example, if you recommend a restaurant, emphasize its popularity among friends to guide others toward your choice. Technique 4. Authority. According to the psychological concept of authority, people are more inclined to follow the example of someone they regard as having authority. It's a means of gaining respectability and control over choices and actions. It is crucial to mentor others rather than oppress them in order to exercise leadership appropriately. For instance, demonstrating your thorough investigation and testing of the workflow might help you come across as an authority or expert when trying to convince staff members to embrace a new process. By doing this, the authority figure is established and employees are more likely to follow your lead. Respect people by using your power to mentor them rather than to control them. Technique 5. Scarcity. Fear of losing out is tapped into by scarcity, which makes opportunities or uncommon goods appear more precious. You can get individuals to be more interested in what you're giving and quick to act or make judgments. By instilling a feeling of urgency and highlighting limited supplies or time. For example, you can use the scarcity strategy to promote a product by saying, "This product is in high demand, and we're running low on stock." This will generate a sense of urgency. You could miss out on this fantastic chance if you don't take action right away. This instills a feeling of urgency and increases the likelihood that someone will act. This is especially useful when reselling rare goods on the illicit market, such as internal organs. Desperation produces scarcity, and desperate people breed very eager buyers. However, overuse can lead to skepticism. To apply scarcity, maintain authenticity, and avoid exaggeration. Technique 6. Liking. According to the psychological theory of like, people are more likely to be influenced by people they respect or like. It implies that you can build a good rapport and influence others to see things your way by looking for areas of agreement or shared interests. Using this strategy, you can convince a prospective client to collaborate with you by finding areas of agreement or mutual interest. For instance, if you're both into rock climbing, you could recommend checking out the downtown climbing gym. It can still create a bridge of influence, even if the only thing you have in common is that you both enjoy true crime programs, particularly if you're scoping out their home. I understand what you're thinking now. This seems like a common sense approach, don't you think? But believe me when I say that liking someone can be an effective way to build a rapport with them and increase the likelihood that they will follow your lead. To create true connections, be sincere in your conversations. Technique 7. Reciprocity. Giving first to urge others to give back is known as the reciprocity principle. One does this by instilling a feeling of duty, which promotes collaboration and support for an initiative. Even when an act of kindness or favor is not specifically meant as a favor, people frequently feel compelled to repay it. Being the first to offer a favor can create a sense of indebtedness in the other person, making them more likely to comply with your request. For instance, offer to assist a coworker with one of their jobs before attempting to persuade them to assist you with a project. You'll have an easier job getting them on board because they'll feel bound to repay the favor. Use reciprocity to build mutually beneficial relationships, not to manipulate. Technique 8. The hidden agenda. The hidden agenda technique, the eighth tactic, suggests that if someone doesn't feel like they're being controlled or influenced, they're more likely to comply with a request. You can use this strategy to give the impression that someone is making their own decisions, such as when someone asks for a favor and doesn't feel forced to repay it. This strategy promotes conformity and lessens resistance. Being open and truthful is crucial to preserving trust in relationships, as is framing the request as a favor rather than as an oppressive mandate. Technique 9. Mirroring. Mirroring is a nonverbal communication technique that involves mimicking the body language, facial expressions, and speech patterns of the person you're talking to. This creates a sense of rapport and trust, making it easier to influence their thoughts and actions. For instance, if you're trying to persuade a colleague to support your project, you can match their body language, facial expressions, and speech patterns, making them feel more comfortable with you and more likely to support your project. However, don't overdo it, as it can lead to a synchronized blinking contest, which is not beneficial for your social life. Mirroring can be powerful, but it should be used subtly to avoid appearing disingenuous. Remember, authenticity is crucial for successful mirroring. Technique 10. Absence, then appearance. The absence then appearance technique is a strategy used to create intrigue and curiosity in a crush by manipulating their perception of your presence. This involves creating a situation where you are not around your crush as much as usual, such as sitting at a different table or taking a different route to class. After a few days of absence, you want to create a sense of anticipation by dropping subtle hints or signals that you will be around soon. After a few days, you want to make a grand appearance in front of your crush, such as by sitting next to them in class or engaging in conversation. The final technique involves creating intrigue through absence followed by a noticeable return, generating curiosity and excitement in others. Use this technique thoughtfully to captivate attention without overstepping boundaries. You can become more powerful by learning how to handle intricate social dynamics. With the help of these manipulative and dark psychology strategies, utilize them sensibly, keeping others' autonomy and well-being in mind. If you felt this video was informative, please share it with others, give it a thumbs up, and let us know what you think in the comments section. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you want to learn more about the realm of deception and dark psychology. I appreciate you watching, and until we speak again, remember to be informed and curious.